Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth. Guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're creating our spreadsheet. It could be used for lots of banking. It's kind of used to help get out of debt, budget, help you keep track of your bills. So in the last video, we kind of went over brainstorming on how and what we needed to create it. So in this video, I want to kind of go over, that's technically my thought process on the layout of it. And this is going to be a really rough draft, and I'm using lines here, so it might get it might not be perfectly straight, but it's more of just kind of having a visualization of how this is going to look. So I kind of like to make the spreadsheet look kind of like a dashboard, basically. So usually in the top, and this might change too as I'm doing it, but to get a general idea, usually at the top, I kind of think of this first little box as kind of the information. Basically on here we'll have kind of in the top left corner will be the family name. This is where I say, well, I like to name the spreadsheets. You can use first name, last name, whatever you want. It's just basically it will be a box where you can enter it and kind of customize it to, your. And then usually somewhere on the right hand side is where your three major numbers, your income, expenses, and cash flow will go. Then we'll have a field for total debt. This is, one thing I think a lot of people, they don't have any idea how much their total debt is. You walk up to somebody, ask them what's your total debt? They'll probably be like, well, I got my house, my car. They don't really even know. And this will kind of give you an awareness of what your total debt is. Now, I don't know if I'll keep this format. That's one thing about this is the format. It changes every time I kind of make a spreadsheet, but usually that's where somewhere around here I'll put the total debt. I'll then add in the total assets. Again, this is something that most people don't even know, these numbers. Now, it's important. I mean, if you're running the expenses in the family, if you're basically the one who takes track of all of this and keeps care of it, knowing these numbers is just a good thing to know. It can help you, with the budget and delegating and helping to see where you can save money and where you're spending money, and just knowing all these numbers are really helpful. And one of the things, I didn't really put this in the flow chart, is the required check account amount. This is, if you want to incorporate velocity banking into the spreadsheet, this will kind of do the numbers for you. It'll help you to make sure that you never go negative in your balance and you're maximizing the amount of money you can stick into your line of credit. A lot of people, when they start off, they don't have the line of credit. So to do velocity banking, without a line of credit, it could be a little bit confusing, and it could, if you're not careful, you could mess up and end up maybe even going negative in an account. And once these numbers are actually shown on the spreadsheet, it'll help explain it more. Another field I add in here is chunking to the line of credit. Now, this will automatically, this kind of keeps you safe. It makes sure that you're keeping whatever the required checking account amount in there, and then it's telling you to send all of your money into the line of credit. This can be used once you understand it. It could be used with credit cards too, but its main function is being able to chunk to a line of credit instantly, telling you exactly how much to chunk. So in the first column, we'll usually have the status. That lets you know right up front, yes or no, basically whether or not that bill has been paid. And I'll usually do some conditional formatting in there. Yes is usually green, no is red. That way it's quick and easy. Setting this up and building it takes a little bit of time, but once it's built, it's designed to save time and to do this as quick as possible. People A lot of people don't spend a lot of time on their bills, and that's kind of the problem with this. And so to make this easier for people, it's always good to make something easy for someone to use. So we'll do a little bit of additional formatting as well as a little bit of data validation to make this quick and easy. Next, I'll probably add due date, and like I said, the auto pay will be combined with this. Um, I'll probably either color code it to tell whether or not it's on auto pay. Basically, this will tell us what day is due, and we have the status, yes or no, whether it's paid, and then the due date. Next, it will be like the description of all the bills. And I might do data validation on this, but I won't lock it. That way people can enter their own descriptions. Then I usually enter the minimum payment field. There's where you'll just enter all of your minimum payments for the month. Next will be the balance field, and this basically tells you your total debt. Adding this up, it gives you an idea. You fill this out. We could automate it month by month, but it'll be kind of hard to do with the different interest rates and stuff. So you will have to manually fill this out. And lastly, in this little column thing, we'll have the limit. This limit or credit line or value will give you your total asset value number. So guys, this is kind of a general layout of how I kind of think of it. It can vary a lot, really, depending on the size. What I've been noticing is I like to try to keep everything where you're looking at the screen, you can see everything you need to see. Sometimes, and I probably will do this, especially if it's like personal, I'll add some fields at the bottom that will, I like to add basically it's kind of your username and password field for you to be able to have everything in one place, to be able to quickly log into these accounts and check these. There is some other variables that go into this, and it's more of the thought process on tailoring it to, you kind of need to know a little bit on how it works. I mean, it's pretty basic, if you're just using it to go through, check off your different bills, and yes, whether or not they've been paid. But if you wanted to use it more for capacity, like with velocity banking or something like that, then you will have to understand kind of how it works. And I'll explain that, because without knowing really how it works, it's like I said, it can be used by anybody just for basic everyday, paying off bills and things like that. But there are some other fields that I'll usually add into here. We'll have, if we moved over a little bit, there will be like a budget and a bills box. These will, it's kind of, it's there to itemize out if you wanted that option itemize out, but we don't need to, on the main description, we don't need to list everything that's a budget or bills, because budget, you're not going to list like a can of soda. You're not going to list certain different things. So the budget will, if you wanted to itemize them out, it'll total up your budget and add it just as a generic field budget on the description. And then the same with bills. The bills that's being paid with a credit card, there's no need to list them out. We have those bills tied to a credit card and they're on auto pay. They're getting paid every month. We do need to itemize them out on the side, just because we want to make sure, what we do is we check and we double check, and we're just checking that the bill has been paid. We know it's on auto pay, but we just want to, that way we're never running into any issues. And if you're already doing velocity banking, you don't have that line of credit yet, we don't want something like a late payment or something like that to help us, interfere with us getting a line of credit to start velocity banking, do velocity banking. So thought process, the layout, all of this in the spreadsheet is to gear someone towards velocity banking and to get them kind of ready for it, and to help them to be able to get those tools necessary to do velocity banking. So guys, I hope you did find value in this video. We could have done it on a spreadsheet, which we will start doing it on the spreadsheet in the next video, but I kind of want to give you how I kind of my thought process and how I start to create these different spreadsheets and using the information that we need in the spreadsheet before creating it. So guys, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.